Hey everyone, it's Spooks. This video is something a little different than what I normally do, but I have decided to expand a bit and cover a wider variety of things I find creepy, which brings us to this video. Of course, like always, I will still try my best to bring you new material regardless of the type of video I upload. Before we begin, I just want to thank my two newest Patreon supporters, *P and Austin, for their very generous pledges. Most of you are probably familiar with ARGs and other similar web series, and know they have been a thing now for quite some time. It's very rare that I pay attention to them at all. Most are pretty much the same thing. Some type of creepy found footage with all sorts of codes throughout, either leading you to another piece of the puzzle, or just simply put there for no apparent reason. Most simply just cannot pique my interest, and this leads us to Jeffrey Dunham. Jeffrey Dunham is the name of a YouTube channel with uploads only leading back to a couple weeks ago. At the time of making this video, the channel only had 13 subscribers and very little views on their videos. The channel appears to be new and rather unknown at this point. This channel provides a lot of valid clues throughout as to what is going on. At first, it simply appears as if it's a channel made by a younger boy who decided to start vlogging. There's no shortage of kids starting up YouTube channels on a daily basis, so this starts out looking as regular as possible. A boy decides to start his own YouTube channel, therefore he throws together a hastily made video of him rambling in front of a camera for a couple of minutes. It all checks out, and the first two videos don't really set off any alarms that something more might be going on. The first video is of Jeffrey introducing himself. He talks about different movies and YouTube channels he likes, even specifically referencing other ARGs. He then goes on to very quickly explain the reason behind making his YouTube channel.
Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube page. My name is Jeffrey. And, I don't know. I really like to watch horror movies. Like, my favorite horror movie is Cloverfield. Because it's like found footage and J.J. Abrams and that stuff. I also like to watch horror YouTube, or like creepy stuff on YouTube, like Marvel Hornets, or like, Alan's Tutorial, 70 Broad. I really like Night Mind's videos. I like his videos. I wanted to make a YouTube page so I can talk about YouTube and horror movies and stuff. Yeah.
So, as you can see, there's nothing really weird here, yet. But, as you all know, I wouldn't be covering this if it was simply a vlogging channel of a random kid. One thing that immediately stands out is the title of the video, which is called Dunham Case 1A, which is a little odd when it comes to titling your channel introduction video. Looking into this channel more, the description reads, "I'm certainly intrigued. Send me anything else you find." Along with the description, there is also a link to a SoundCloud upload of what sounds like a clip from a news show, which I'll be going into further in just a little bit. So watching the video itself would lead you to believe this is just any vlogging channel by a new, younger YouTuber, but taking the title and description into consideration will tend to lead you to believe that maybe whoever is running this channel is actually studying Jeffrey, rather than being him himself. The second video on the channel, titled Dunham Case 1B, starts off similarly to the first upload, with Jeffrey jokingly introducing himself. He then goes on to apologize for not uploading for so long, even though this video was uploaded only 4 days after the first one. This is another indication that could argue that these might not be the original uploads of these videos. The video continues, and Jeffrey continues to ramble on for a bit, but he is still behaving in a positive, upbeat nature that you would expect from most kids. He continues for a bit more, seemingly struggling to even come up with anything that is worth mentioning in his vlog, and then the video ends.
Hi YouTube, it's me, Jeffrey. It's me, Jeffrey. I was back on my YouTube. I'm sorry for being gone such a long time. I was just busy, with stuff. But I'm back. I'm eating some curry. Got some rice and curry. It's kind of spicy. I don't know what happened that was exciting recently.
The description in this video reads, "But the other videos? I'm so confused." It's a pretty vague statement, but it at least has some info in the description, unlike most ARGs. There's also another link to SoundCloud, this time appearing to be a short clip of someone being interviewed. Again, I will address this in just a few minutes. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, I've already been comparing this channel to other ARGs or web series, but what I would really like to do is figure out exactly what this channel is all about. When first viewing a channel that ends up having a creepy theme and references other ARGs in the first video, I can't help but to begin to jump to conclusions. But let's continue on and try to figure out what this series is all about. The third upload on this channel is titled Rewind. It begins like the previous two videos, but begins a slight shift in the theme almost immediately. The first 2 minutes of Rewind are Jeffrey vlogging like normal, but he doesn't seem quite like the happy kid he's been up to this point. He's a bit more quiet and withdrawn, talking about how he'd gotten into a fight with another kid at school, breaking his nose and ultimately ending up getting suspended from school and grounded. Right around the 2-minute mark, the video appears to briefly pause, rewind itself, and then end up on a different vlogging session where Jeffrey seems a little concerned and explains what went on the night before.
Hi Dad, it's Jeff. I know you said only to talk to you only to message you if there's an issue. There's an issue. I don't know what happened last night. I woke up and the bedside lamp was broken, and this was written on my arm. Life is meaningless. I forgot to take my pills yesterday. So, I mean, maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't hurt anybody this time. Alex is safe. Tim is safe. Mom is safe. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Dad. I hope you don't have to come back from your trip because of this. But
So at this point, it is possible to start believing that this is obviously some type of a scripted series, but there's just something off about it. Up until this point, we don't know a ton about Jeffrey or his age. I will admit though, if he is acting, his acting doesn't suck. Honestly, it's pretty convincing in my opinion. I've seen far worse performances for people held to higher standards when it comes to this. What Jeffrey is saying doesn't feel like it's being read from a script. To me, it really does sound like a kid just talking about his life. The description in this video reads, "This just keeps getting stranger and stranger." Again, this could be written from a third-party perspective, or even from Jeffrey himself. This video contains 2 links in the description. The first link brings you to a different YouTube channel titled Jeffrey Dunham's Biggest Fan. This channel only has one upload called He Walked By My House. It's quite short, so take a look. Neither the video or the channel provide any additional information. The second link brings us yet to another SoundCloud upload. This appears to be some type of song, slowed down with heavy distortion over top of it. Not a whole lot of information to gain from this, but it's just something that seems to be thrown in as it's a little disturbing. Could there be a greater meaning behind it? Absolutely. I'm just not sure what that may or may not be. Take a short listen for yourself, but I must warn you, despite the fact I'll be trying to balance this audio, I need to issue a warning to those of you that are wearing headphones or have your speakers turned up loud. You might want to lower the volume a bit just for a moment. The next video in this series is Nevermind. It's a change of atmosphere with Jeffrey in a different location, loading a VHS tape into a VCR and watching what appears to be an old home movie of children, possibly Jeffrey when he was younger with his siblings or friends. At one point, the TV appears to turn itself off, confusing Jeffrey, but after several seconds, he's able to turn it back on, and the video ends shortly after.
What the hell? What the hell?
There's nothing in the description of this video except for text written as, "Don't bother me about it." The next video is called Pills, and there's not much to it. Jeffrey is sitting in his usual location, not acknowledging the camera, and looking a bit distant. After several seconds, he appears to take and swallow a pill, and then the video ends. It's now at this point that the series begins to take a darker tone. The next upload is called Shatter. It's a short video of a sad-looking Jeffrey talking about dealing with depression.
Don't you hate it when you get really depressed and you just sit there and cry? You just cry. Hashtag relatable.
The description of this video is even more sinister. It reads, "Kill me. Just put a blade through my chest. I just want a bullet through my head. Please, please." Again, in the very next video on this channel, titled Insanity, this series begins to take another turn. It appears that this short video is mostly made up of previous clips, except in the end where we see a clip from an older movie and Jeffrey laughing maniacally. Also, there are several text images that pop up through the video. Although they're a bit hard to catch at first, they say, "Coward. Just do it already. Kill them."
Hi, YouTube. Cry. I'm sorry if you hear voices in the background. I tried to make them stop.
The next video is again rather short. It's called Chop Chop, and is simply a first-person view of Jeffrey walking downstairs in his house, grabbing a knife from the kitchen, and then walking back upstairs. Although this could easily be looked at as menacing, the description seems to be a bit darker than the video itself, reading, "Blood is so beautiful. The color, the way it flows, the way it drips, all of that. It tastes nice as well. I've always wanted to be a vampire. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I just wanted to have fun. Please, please." The final video as of the time of making this video is titled Dunham Case 1C. It reverts back to the original videos with Jeffrey sitting in his normal spot vlogging. He goes on to talk about a murderer with a similar name to him, Jeffrey Dahmer, and gives his opinion on a few things surrounding the subject.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, your best friend, Jeffrey. Back with another vlog thing. Something weird happened today. So, found out there's this like murderer who has like almost the same name as me, Jeffrey Dahmer, I think. Weird. I'm not a murderer though, don't worry.
Now, I know this series isn't particularly horrifying, but I happened to stumble across it, and in certain ways, I appreciated what was done with it. So, is this all put together as some type of an ARG? Is Jeffrey making all these videos himself? If so, do they contain any truth? Or is this someone putting together a case study of a teenage murderer? Well, some of the above, but let me explain. It appears as if the individual or individuals running this channel want it to appear as if they are indeed putting together a case file on Jeffrey. Not only is this suggested in some of the titles and descriptions, but I also found a reply from the creator on one of their videos. When asked if they were studying into Jeffrey, they only replied by saying shh, which basically translates to yes, that's right, that's 100% correct. So, what about Jeffrey himself then? Well, he's in on it too, and I would be willing to bet he's one of the content creators. Like I said before, I do applaud Jeffrey on giving a performance that was quite often believable. I think a lot of these uploads were very loosely scripted, which gave off a more genuine vibe in general. I also feel that if someone were legitimately creating a series on studying a subject like Jeffrey, they wouldn't specifically edit all their material in a manner that seems to be done in a way that is trying to come off as creepy, or give the actual content creator such a weird vibe themselves. Now, there's another huge reason why I believe this is a scripted series. Remember those SoundCloud uploads I needed to come back to? Take a listen to the one from the first video.
Thanks, Todd. Today in Middletown, Ohio, the police found a boy of 15 crouching over multiple bodies in his home, bloodied and laughing. The boy, Jeffrey Dunham, had murdered his family with a knife, all except for his twin brother, Alex, who was staying at a friend's house and managed to survive the encounter.
This audio upload was obviously meant to sound like a news report, stating that Jeffrey had murdered his family, all except his twin brother. To me, that almost sounds too similar to Jeff the Killer, who of course was also named Jeff. The SoundCloud upload from the second video is what appears to be from an interview from a family member or friend of Jeffrey. It's not made clear who was being interviewed, but they were comparing Jeffrey and his twin brother, wondering how Jeffrey ended up the way he did.
Jeff? Yeah, he's weird. I never really liked him. What was that? Oh, yeah, I guess I'd say he was crazy. He's done some pretty horrible shit. It's the weirdest thing. Alex, cool kid. Awesome, nice, all of that. And then Jeff's batshit crazy. I thought twins were supposed to be similar. Yeah, it's no problem.
Now, not to sound harsh, but in my opinion, these two audio uploads really hurts this series. I believe they were trying to add authenticity to the series by providing a little more information surrounding Jeffrey, and even using a source from a news report. Unfortunately, the voice acting in these clips didn't hold up to the overall acting of Jeffrey himself. Another thing, while I'm able to appreciate the use of descriptions in a series with an ARG type feel, the way they were used also put me off a bit. I also want to mention that although this series has an ARG feel to it, like I just said, I believe this is more of a horror series than anything. As far as I can tell, there really isn't any game to be played along with this quite yet. That, of course, could change at any point, but even searching and finding a Facebook and Twitter page for this channel, only provided links to their YouTube uploads, along with the occasional text similar to what we've seen in their video descriptions. Overall, I would like to say that I feel that this series has a pretty creative approach to everything. I believe if they actually just stopped trying to be so convincing, the series would have a more genuine and believable feel to it. Is this series terrifying? In my opinion, no. At least not quite at this point. But there's something about it that is at least a little bit entertaining and intriguing. I don't want to criticize too harshly, as this channel only has a handful of uploads, and has only been posting for about 2 weeks or so. For all I know, it's going to take a certain turn that is totally going to surprise me. Maybe there's more to it than I know. Searching Google for Jeffrey Dunham in relation to any murders, of course, just comes up with nothing aside from all sorts of articles and sites about Jeffrey Dahmer. But again, I would like to say I think the general premise to this series is unique in its own way, and could have a lot of potential to be quite entertaining. So there you have it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a new type of topic for me to have done. I absolutely love videos like this and have wanted to find the more obscure channels, websites, or whatever to analyze. I chose the Jeffrey Dunham series as I believe overall it is a bit lighthearted and not too complex for my first analysis video. But guys, please let me know if you'd like to see some more occasional videos like this, and if you have any obscurities you know of that you'd like me to cover, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you to everyone listening. I love you guys, and I'll see you all soon.